it's time to figure out our steering wheel. So we had a few options. The one I liked best was this style yoke. The problem with this is, well, the whole situation is, if I could find an original, that's what I wanted. There's reproductions of some, but instead of paying for reproduction, I would rather just make my own. Obviously can't find one of these. If you can, they're very expensive. So the next option was I was going to build all the metal pieces, but these grips, I've been able to find one grip, but it was about $800. I need two. So that's not going to work. So we're just kind of put this on the back burner. If I end up finding some of these, or if you know somebody that can make these, like on a 3D printer with buttons and triggers, let me know. Otherwise, that one's on hold for now. The next option is this one. So we're going to make this. We're going to get a lever here. I think we're going to use that as our release for when we're sitting inside. We can pull that with some wires, and that'll disengage with some of like the door lock claws. So our top of the tank will come up. And then I think right here, we're just going to put like a red trigger button like that. And we'll use that for a horn or something like that. So we go to some shows or something like that. We have a horn, I don't know. So I think we're going to end up making this one. So I think it'd be kind of cool. Also, while we're talking about not being able to find something or making something, we need a seat. If you have any leads on an old aircraft aluminum seat, bomber type seat, let me know. Same situation. I'd prefer to have an original type one. If I can't find one, there's thousands and thousands of people that make bomber seats. But again, if I can't find an original, then I'd rather just make one myself. So that's our backup option. So if you all have an idea of where one's at, let me know, and we can go down that path. Otherwise, there'll probably be a video on me making a seat. So any help, greatly appreciated. Let's start cutting something. Well, you know me and template making. This is just a different version of that. So this is what we're going to attempt to make. With the measurements, it's obviously too small. So I use the fancy program of putting this picture into PowerPoint, blowing it up, and then cutting and taping to get to the size that I want. About 3 or 4 attempts, this is what I came to. So we're going to use this as our kind of guide with our parts that we're making. What we're going to do, this is going to be an assembly of a bunch of different parts. We're going to use some 1-inch tube here. This is a little bit bigger. I think this is 1 1/4. So we'll cut a section of tube here. These little round pieces kind of there, we'll round off the edges. Should be a piece of tube there and there. And then we'll cut off our short pieces there, flat steel there. Once we get our lever in, we'll notch this tube, make some flat tube here with a hole, and then we'll kind of get everything welded together with the center plate. So let's compile these little assemblies first. See, we got our base little assembly pieces. Next step is either to get the bender out and get our bends here, and we also need to notch in through here for our little lever. Well, we're going to try to bend our other section of the steering wheel, yoke, whatever. So we're going to eyeball it. That would help if I connected that, wouldn't it? All right, take 2. We're connected. That's at a 90 right now. And we need to go more. That looks pretty close right there. Let's see if we get any spring back. Okay, that's our spring back. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that looks pretty good, actually. That lines up with that. I think maybe just a smidge more. So let's see what we got here. So, we're pretty close here. I think we got it. Line that up. So I think we are there. We'll end up cutting that piece off. We'll cut this here because I can't fit this piece. I don't think I can fit this piece in the bender to get it to turn without it hitting that like halfway through. So we'll cut it here, end up welding it. We got that little sleeve that's bigger that goes over it anyway, so that's going to tie that together. So go ahead and cut this to somewhere here close, put the other piece in, and get the other side of this. So we have a bunch of different pieces cut and notched and pretty much getting close to being welded up. We're waiting on our backing plate for a quick disconnect from our steering shaft. Once we have that, we can weld that to this ring. We have our little button cover, which is actually a fence post cap. I knocked it out. We'll end up putting a grommet or something in here with a brass bolt, so we'll be able to get it off. And then we have our little plate here that'll have a brass bolt. Just kind of go along with the original picture. It's not going to function for anything. This hole there is for our horn button, just so we can help people get out of the way or just say hey. It also looks like the red trigger button, so that's good. And then this was a fun bit to make. So our bicycle part came in. We modified it, cut a bunch off, made another arm here, and I'll show you how that goes together. And I think we're going to use that cable as our disconnect for our tank for the front section. When we need to get out, we can pull the lever. It'll unlock with some like barrel claw hinges that you use on a door or something like that. So coming along, I'll show you this, and then we'll start welding everything up. Oh, another bit, we have this cap fit onto this end up here. So it'll be kind of like that. We'll weld that on. And then the other side over here, we just took some solid round bar and we just kind of rounded it out, and that's going to slide into there, and we'll leave, well, it's supposed to slide into there. There we go. So we'll leave it about that far out, so we have a nice little weld liner through here, and we can grind that out, and it'll be nice, one nice little circle. So this was a pretty tricky spot, a little piece to make, but I think we got it figured out. We did cut a lot off of our original lever here, but I think we cannibalized it enough that we can actually use it. So what we're going to do, slide that fit into there, let them connect up, and then we'll rotate them back to there. And then we're going to get some brass hardware for here on the center control button and on that little plate, and kind of tie it together. I think it'll look pretty good. So let's get that through there. So that's kind of what we have with tension on it, with the spring on there, and then you just pull it back and release. So once we tighten it up, we got some shims and stuff that'll be centered, but it's not going to go anywhere. The worst case, it looks cool. Best case, it's functioning and performs a function. All right, let's get some of this stuff welded up. That's our tip on the one side. Next bit is the left side cap. So I'm going to weld on there. Here we go. Subtle, but that's what the picture shows, so yep. All right, next step is to weld our left and right side of our wheel, yoke, whatever you want to call it. Before we do that, we need to make sure we put our sleeve on, because it's not going to slide around those curves there. Slide that out of the way. Let's brace up everywhere else so we're on the same plane. That's so I can see. Get you over here. There we go. Okay. Why does it seem like that's so high? That feels better. Yeah, gotta tweak this end. Bring that down. I'll take a few minutes here, make sure this is right then. That one looks pretty good. Feels good there. Alright, now what I should have done first was put the ground on, because as soon as I do this, it's going to fling this part away, so I have to redo some of it. Oh, not too bad. Okay. So that looks good there. Looks good there. Okay, let's do this. And it would help if I put the ground on it, wouldn't it? All right, let's try this again. All right, we got it welded up, cleaned up. Looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I like that. Got our sleeve. We'll slide that over. So that's good. Let's go ahead and get this on. Well, we're gonna have to brace this up. Put this piece onto here. Which really shouldn't matter since it's pivoted, but let's see. That lined up there. Need to center that. It's pretty close there. Like that. Okay, I think that's our spot. There's no reason really to measure it because we're lined up straight ahead and we got that centered, so yeah. Oh, dang it. Round. Hopefully that do it. Oh, we're good. Okay. pretty good. Now my thoughts are, a lot of these had like a real thick paint coating on it, but I'm thinking I'm going to have my father-in-law does a lot of the like paracord work, maybe wrap this section right here with some black paracord, the real thin stuff, like they did on some of the handles back in the day. So let me know if you think that's a cool idea. So we'll go ahead and get this little things cleaned up here, and then go to the next step. While I got you, appreciate you all watching. 94.1% of you that are watching this right now are not subscribers. Hit that little subscribe button down in the corner. Be greatly appreciated. Didn't cost anything to hit a button, so hit it, and I appreciate it greatly. Ready to go riding. All right, let's get this bad boy assembled. Now, this isn't going to be the final. We're going to get powder coated black, and I think I'm going to have my father-in-law. He does some really good like paracord wrap, the real thin stuff. I think I might have him wrap the two bottom sections here. I think that'll look pretty awesome. So here's our quick disconnect. That'll mount to the back here, mount onto there, and then this will attach to our actual steering rod that we have, the steering rod. But we're not going to put that on today. No reason to. So, all right. First, these are my center cap. I drilled a hole because once I get this pushed on there, it's pretty tight, and if I ever need to get it off, I think I'd ruin it. So I'm going to put a little grommet in here and then a brass little bolt. We're going to kind of tie in because we're going to have brass here and brass right there. But that's just a fence post top. Whatever works, right? So we'll go ahead and mock it up with our grommet, and that way you all can kind of see everything of what we got, minus the paint. But that'll at least give us a good section. Oh, that's tight. Put that there. Okay, and then we're gonna got a bunch of different brass hardware. We found a bunch of these with just the standard slots in them. They'll look kind of good. Don't need to crank this too much. Okay, so we'll put that in a minute. All right, so let's get this in there. All right, let's see if we remember both of our little pieces there. You can do it. There you go. And over there. There's the go. And that's through there. Spin that around. I want to put some nylon nuts or something on this at some point, but okay, so you can kind of see that on the back. That's where our cable is going to go. Now, we're assuming that we're going to use that part to use as our lever action to pull the cables to release the top of the tank to the front section when we're sitting in it. Worst case, we'll put a spring into there and it won't provide a function, but it should be able to provide a function. So, a little brass piece there. Oh, get in there, fella. Now this is off of Avro or something like that, Lancaster Bomber. Most of those were in England. I did like the Spitfires and things like that. Just those grips, man, so hard to find something that could work for us. All right, so we get that turned like that. Now should we do the old household electronics or light switches where they're turned the same way? I think maybe turn it just to offset a little bit. Okay, there's that. Well, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it right, huh? Let's put our just gotta pour it out. Okay. Trick to this was to stretch a little bit. Did it go through or it takes literally forever. And I usually had it in my vise to help it along. That didn't work like I wanted it to. We're gonna put it in the vise. See how much easier that is? Pulling around like I was a monkey trying to get that to go through there. Oh, come on. Did it swell up when I welded it? Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got the cap there. We have our trigger there. And that's going to probably be our horn button. And let's get our center cap in. Aha! There you go. What do you think? Like the sound effect? So, heck yeah. I think that looks pretty amazing. So we're going to get it powder coated black. And yeah, wrap these with that paracord real tight. It's really good. Let me know what y'all think. In worst case, if I ever do find some of those grips with a quick disconnect, I can make another one and put on whichever one I want, but I think I'm really digging this. This is cool. Fits really good in the hands. Yeah, I like that. Well, that does it for the steering wheel. Of course, minus the paint and stuff like that. But thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate it. Our numbers are creeping up slowly. So if you're not subscribed, please take a quick second, hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Again, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, I want to get some t-shirts made. I really want some t-shirts, so let's get some moving. But on another note or side note from that, if you all can design any shirts that you think would be cool, send them to me. That would be great. And see what kind of options we have for some cool shirts.